Hi there, guys, and welcome to episode 38 in my series 100 Casts. This is the series in which I cast over 100 games of League of Legends sent in to me by fans and friends. So if you'd like your replay featured in the series, just check the description. You can figure out how to do that down there. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you at the end. Hey there, guys. Nice to have you around. This is going to be cast number 38. We'll be getting right into it. As you can see by the fact that there are tags next to people's names, this is in fact a Ranked 5s game, and it's not just any Ranked 5 game. This is a Challenger level Ranked 5s game sent into me by Bynbows, the Braum on the purple team. It's Challenger level game in the Brazilian server, I believe. And yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to watch. I always love casting over Ranked 5s games because there's always so much more team play and synergy to be considered because they can talk to each other, unlike in a solo queue game. Well, I suppose you can talk through text, but usually there's a voice over IP client being used in some way, and looks like we have some of that team synergy already coming out here. Purple team looping around past the golem camp, trying to catch somebody out in the jungle. They're as 4 right now. Jarvan's coming along, but he's lagging behind a little bit, but it doesn't seem to matter. They've caught Kha'Zix out, and he's going down. First blood goes over to Renekton, and I mean, he already had the early lane advantage, and might be another one. Corki is forced to level up Valkyrie first, so I suppose there's at least that, but he does manage to escape, and now Purple Team's sitting on a ward, so not going to be able to get anything else out of this, but they did get the first blood onto Renekton, who's already a lane bully early on in the game. That first blood is just going to make it even harder for Jax to deal with this early lane matchup here, and the Jax versus the Renekton. Renekton having all of that sustain, huge amounts of damage when he uses his passive correctly. It's just so very hard to lane against a Renekton early on in the game, and having a first blood on the Lizard is not going to make it any easier at all. But to be fair, he is simply walking to lane before basing first, but even then, the XP is going to be in his favor, so he'll hit level 2 first, unless Jax pushes really hard. And if Jax pushes really hard, Jarvan can get an easy gank up. So it's a really sort of an intractable problem here for Jax. Gonna have to rely on the Renekton making a few mistakes, maybe. I think that will be the way back into the lane for Jax here already. Early on in the game. As we can get into some of the matchups now. I did just talk about the top matchup because of that first blood, but the bottom lane matchup is an interesting one as well. We've got the new Soraka. Ooh, nice piercing light across the minion waves there, hitting Corki with the very end of it. But we've got the new Soraka shown up, so we'll get to see her get played in a far more competitive environment than my solo queue games. And we also have a Braum and Lucian combo, which is a very powerful combo because of the way their passives interact. Concussive Blows is stacked up. Every stun landing from Jax onto the Renekton there, bringing him down fairly low, but Renekton does have sustain. He's going to be able to survive in this lane. He has the sustain, small amount of sustain that Adorn's Blade gives, health pot running, and the passive from Koldamik, as we saw just there. Hitting a bunch of enemies will give him health back, so he's already back up above where Jax was in terms of hit points after the trade, so dash away from the star call by the Lucian. He's going in for this engage here. Unbreakable has popped up to try and zone the Corki away from the Lucian. There are 2 stacks on both members of the enemy team, but neither one gets fully stunned up. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Flash is burned from Orianna. As Jarvan comes in, knock up, not quite landing. Flash forward from the Lissandra, and Jarvan gets another few auto attacks. That is going to be Jarvan picking up the kill with the red buff burn there. Flash away from the Renekton as this Kha'Zix is trying to gank after him. Flash from Jax following up. Renekton turns around with Koldamik though, gets some sustain back, but does fall in the end. Jax picking up that kill as now Jarvan is chasing after this. Jax slows him up with the Aegis. Jax is going to teleport away. Can he make it? The Q and then the flag. Having just enough damage from the Jarvan to bring down the Jax. Trading out. 1 for 1 right there. Meanwhile, down in bottom lane, this is starting to get very heavily in favor of Purple Team here. The combo I was talking about earlier, the way that Braum and Lucian's passives work together, I'm sure many of you know about it, but for those of you who don't, Concussive Blows, Braum's passive stacks up to 4 stacks after he lands an auto attack or his Q onto an enemy, Winter's Bite. Once it hits 4 stacks, that enemy is stunned. Now, stacks can be applied either from Braum's auto attacks, Winter's Bite, or auto attacks from allies, and Lucian's passive, Light Slinger, stacks up 2 pretty much instantly together because he fires off 2 auto attacks, one of which does reduce damage, but for the purposes of concussive blows still counts as an auto attack. Lysandra going in, snaring up the Orianna, and Jarvan is back again. He's got the red buff. Orianna is slowed up. He's leaving this kill for the Lysandra though. Orianna manages to sidestep the shard. Can she survive? No! Can't sidestep the spear. Sonano is on a killing spree now. As Kaz is coming in, gonna be cleaning up here, leaps in onto the Lysandra. I don't see any way she escapes. She does run backwards in the opposite direction from Jarvan though, making sure that he's gonna be able to escape as well. 4-2 in terms of kills here on the board for Purple Team. Nice Q landing from Braum down in bottom lane. As up in top, we see the trade coming out from Jax and Renekton. And Renekton, with all of that sustain, now he has a Vampiric Scepter on top of it, is able to survive up past these trades much more effectively than the Jax is. And able to push up as well. Jax does not have the best wave clear out of all the top laning options, but Renekton certainly has much better. He has multiple AoE abilities to clear that wave down. He can push the lane under the tower very, very quickly against the Jax and make him have a difficult time of farming. And down in bottom lane for the first time, we see that Soraka and Corki are doing a decent job of zoning away the Braum and the Lucian, but Braum has none of it. Poops up the Unbreakable so that Corki cannot turn and focus on him. Corki, though, decides to go straight for the back line, jumping in onto the Lucian. Braum flashes forward with the Ignite, and the very edge of the Piercing Light, once again, finds its mark. Soraka going down. Lucian picking up that kill. He is 1-0 now. Yeah, very well shot by the Lucian, landing these Piercing Lights all the time. They always seem to be on point, and now we have another little duel going on, Unbreakable, so that Corki can't really turn around and fight this. The passive stacks up, barrier is up, but barrier's not enough. DCLW getting his second kill of the game on Lucian. Well played by the bottom lane for Purple Team here. Sandra going in, snaring up the Orianna, and here is the third gank of the game from Jarvan into the middle lane. Doesn't quite get it this time, doesn't have the red buff to slow up the Orianna, and missed the knockup on the Flag and Drag, but still, the amount of ganking that this Jarvan has pulled off in mid lane, we're 6.5 minutes into the game, and he's been there 3 times. And he's 3-0, so it seems to be working out for him. Setting up his tent near that middle lane. And speaking of tents, he's waiting in the bush. He's got that pink. They know that Orianna can't see them. They're going to run around the corner. Glacial Path brings Lysandra fairly close. Flag and Drag as well. The ulti onto the Orianna under the tower. Ignite in a Q. I'm not special on that Lysandra. Picks up the kill. That is a pretty great name. I like that name. Counter-strike just to zone the Renekton away from the creep, but now that that's down, Renekton might be able to consider a tower dive. He has full rage and his ulti up, so he might be able to get in under that tower and take down the Jax, though to be fair, Jax is very dangerous to tower dives. I don't know if he really wants to pull that off. Oh, doesn't quite land the Q. Not quite in range for that, but seems like Renekton is still holding his own, handling himself very well up in the top lane. Though to be perfectly honest, actually, I expected him to have a bit more of a lead at this point in the game. He's certainly doing fine. He's not behind or anything, but Jax is farming decently, and Jax certainly does scale a lot better into the late game than Renekton here. And speaking of Jax and Renekton, they're going at it. Renekton popping into his ulti, turning around with a stun onto Jax. They're both down about the same amount of health. Renekton still has his ulti running. He's running into the bush. Bilgewater Cutlass for the slow, turns around with the Ignite, and the double slice and dice picks up the kill. That is the advantage of going Ignite over Teleport in the top lane. They were both incredibly low. The fight was going insanely evenly, but Renekton had the extra Ignite damage, and Jax did not. Now, meanwhile, Kha'Zix with the red buff has caught out Jarvan in the jungle. The Ignite goes onto him from the Orianna, and the burn is enough. Brings him down. Shutdown goal going over to Orianna. Now Shockwave landing onto Lysandra. She snares up both Kha'Zix and Orianna, but it's not going to be enough. She's going down. Double kill for Orianna. Blue team starting to come back into their own in this game. They are only 2k gold behind currently, so they certainly could come back. Nice dash away from the Phosphorus Bomb, and Lucian's pulling off the 1v1 here against the Corki quite nicely. Cullen comes out as well, and Lucian picks up the kill. DCLW, third kill of the game, 3-0. He's on a killing spree. Now Orianna has roamed down towards the bottom lane. She wants to get a gank off here, but Soraka's going around the wrong way. Should have walked with her Orianna around the tri-bush, forced to pop the ulti to heal herself. Manages to get away with that wish. But that's on cooldown now for very little traded back. I suppose Braum's ulti is also on cooldown, so trading of the supports' ultis down in bottom lane, Glacial Fissure and Wish both used, but even so, I would still say that goes in favor of Purple Team, since ever since the new update, Soraka's most valuable resource really is health at this point, because it costs her her own health to heal her allies. And so if she's low on health, there's less healing to be had in that lane. Very nice CSing under the tower there from Renekton. I probably would have missed nearly all of those, but he managed to get every single one of them, balancing out his damage across all the minions very, very effectively. Lysandra clearing out a pink here. Kazakh sees this and knows that they're nearby. Going to be gone to just smite his own blue buff rather than giving it over to Oriana. So just the pressure of Lysandra and Jarvan being nearby forces that blue buff onto Kazakhs rather than Oriana. So that's a small victory here, and they might be able to pick up another one. Kazakhs going back to base, but he's been spotted. Renekton's roaming down, flash into Lysandra, the ulti as well, and he is CC'd to hell and back. Zanano picking up that kill. Another kill for Jarvan. 4 and 1. Doing a lot of work out of the jungle here, and really focusing his efforts on the middle lane. Braum, I don't know why you chose to sweep in the middle of the lane there, I guess just for style points. Stun does not land onto Renekton. It ends just before the Jax can leap strike forward. Doesn't get that stun back, and Renekton's just going to sustain that damage back up, as he does so well in this lane, especially considering that he has so much AD on top of that Vampiric Scepter. Renekton going for a very, very aggressive build. Speaking of aggressive, down in bottom lane, Corki's getting bursted down. Meanwhile, up in top, Jarvan went for another gank. This time, the first gank of the game, not in mid lane, and it was equally successful. Knockup landed on the Jax, and Renekton got that kill back. Now, Lysandra has run down the bot lane. Glacial Path coming in, and I don't really think Soraka has any method of escaping here. Lysandra going to pick up that kill with the pop from Braum's passive, providing a little bit of extra damage for her, making sure that she picks up that kill. Now Oriana and Kazakhs have roamed down. They're trying to go for the kill here. The Lucian and the Braum are both low, but the Lucian manages to dash away from the Kazakhs lead, but not from the shockwave. Oriana picks up that kill. Then Kazakhs goes down, though, so that is a 1-for-1 trade. And meanwhile, the Glacial Path finishes off the kill into Oriana, even after she flashes away. Oof. 2-for-1 trade, even in a situation where they can't get the drop on purple team. They end up trading poorly, so that's not good. Now Corki coming in, trying to get this kill back onto Bynbows. He turns around, he gets the passive stack, and he flashes back in, actually. Really aggressive play, but the Wish comes out. Corki gets far more health than Braum thought he had. Wish and Barrier burned there. Now he's in a 1v1 for Lysandra, and not for very long, actually. Lysandra has a lot of burst right now. All of that camping from the Jarvan certainly accomplished something. Lysandra gets another kill. There are 4 members of Purple Team with 4 kills. This is not good for Blue Team, but Kazakhs might be able to get something back. He comes in on this connection here. Flag and drag from the Jarvan as the Kazakhs get the shutdown. Jarvan will flash forward. Martial Cadence strikes, and he gets that kill. 1-for-1 trade. Not exactly what Blue Team wanted, but it's something. It's at least something. They're going to have to really rely on this Jax to pull them out into the late game here. Dash across the Silence Field. Doesn't get snared up. He's chasing after this Soraka. He's dealing some good damage. A nice crit there. Ooh, the culling not good. Does it? He gets it. He flashes. And the last few bullets of the culling come across from the jungle, hitting the Soraka right in the behind and getting that kill back for himself. Well done by the Lucian. Knowing that he can take that 1v1, I mean, Soraka support not really a match for the fairly fed Lucian AD carry, who's well on his way to finishing off an Infinity Edge and a Brutalizer, so yeah. Well shot from the culling as well. Stuttering out his auto attack animation. Anyone who has a there are a lot of cases with a sound effect that plays when they auto attack, and champions who have those sorts of sound effects, like Lucian, who gets that shooting gun sort of sound effect. I'll get back to that in just a second, though. We see that Jarvan's flag and dragging in, and then Cataclysm onto this bug. He gets ulted by the Lysandra as well, and he goes down. Meanwhile, Shockwave lands onto only Jarvan, actually. And now the Oriana is in trouble. The passive is stacking up. They have 3. Can they get 4? They do. She gets stunned up. She's going down. DCLW picking up his 6th kill of the game. Didn't get a ward on Corki, so he might have been looking for an ambush, but he's not going to be able to get it. And DCLW on the Lucian has, as I said, nearly finished off both the Infinity Edge and the Brutalizer. And Corki doesn't even have all the pieces of a Trinity Force yet. This is a dominating performance from the bot lane for Purple Team here. And Dragon is getting picked up. Spicy here from the Jarvan. Pick up that easily. Extending their gold lead even further. They have a nearly 10,000 gold lead here. Not even 15 minutes into the game. The writing is on the wall for Blue Team. And Braum is getting some really deep vision. I like that quite a bit. Stun landing on some connection. This might be a kill back for Blue Team here. He turns around and does a ton of damage to this Jax. Wish, though, from the Soraka. Nice map awareness from that support for Blue Team. Going to be saving Jax's life. But in a 3v1 scenario, Renekton has enough burst and survivability to turn around and nearly bring down the Jax in a 3v1. And that might have something to do with the fact that he's finished off a Last Whisper first item, and it looks like he's building into a Blade of the Ruined King next. This Renekton doesn't seem to care. about being tanky. That's not his job. He's a carry. Lysandra going with the glacial path. Owen comes across onto the face of this Kha'Zix. He gets ignited as well, but he does have the Soraka nearby to heal him, thankfully. So he's not going to be going down to that. But still, he went way too aggressive there. Did not have to take all that damage. And yeah, Purple Team's just in a better position right now to team fight overall. They have such a dominating control on this game. They're sitting in the enemy team's jungle, and I'm looking at the minimap right now, and I don't see a single blue ward on the minimap. No, there is one in the small bush in top lane near the white camp. Oh, and there's one in the blue bush near top lane as well. Speaking of near top lane, though, we have Lysandra going in. She goes into her Zonias to avoid the tower shots, and Lucian gonna dash in, getting the double kill across from the Corki and the Orianna. Pick up the turret as he's on the way out as well. They have a 3-0 turret lead. So many advantages just piling up for Purple Team here. They have 23 kills to 8. They have a 3-0 turret lead, and I'm really not entirely sure exactly where it started to go wrong for Blue Team. They seem to be holding their own until like 8 or 9 minutes into this game, and then suddenly, maybe 5 or 6 minutes, I don't know, but sometime earlier in this game they were certainly holding their own, and then suddenly the game just started falling out of their hands bit by bit, and it's 16 minutes now, and they are more than 15 kills behind. That's really bad. Soraka getting caught out by the Braum. The passive is stacking up. Not quite able to land the last one, though. Winter's Bite comes across. She gets stunned up, but Braum doesn't have any backup. And even when ahead, Braum does not do all that much damage when building as a tanky support as he's building, so not really able to solo kill the Soraka unless he was given a lot more time than that. Up at top lane, the fight's going on between the Renekton and the Kha'Zix. Meanwhile, down on the bottom side of the map, we see that Kha'Zix has found out Bynbows and a few other members. Double kill so far, leaping in onto this Lucian. He gets exhausted, leads back in. Flash burned as well from the Orianna. Can she escape? She does not. The very edge of Jarvan's spear catches on her. She's trying to run away, but her team will avenge her. Triple kill for Kha'Zix. Well done by Kha'Zix. That might be the path back into the game for Blue Team. They can pull off another few good team fights like that. I mean, Orianna did fall, so they did trade back 1 kill for those 3, but 1 for 3 is good. It's an advantage. That's how that works. So we flash forward from the Jax, getting the smite, not the smite, the stun onto Renekton. He flashes over the wall though. Jax leap strikes over to a ward, doesn't want to give up on this kill, chasing him forward, going around the other side of the wolf camp, gonna try and cut him off. Renekton realizes this though. He's gonna stand still, turn around, dashes through, slice and dices, gets lapped upon. The stun though, and Corki there from the side. Corki having none of that business from the Renekton. Gets a kill back for himself, which is very good. They need this Corki to start scaling up. He still hasn't even finished off his Trinity Force. He just bought it. Okay, he just finished his Trinity Force. And Lucian already has a Yumu's Ghost Blade and an Infinity Edge. He has a full item up on this Corki. To be fair, Trinity Force is one of the most expensive items in the game. But even so, just in terms of amount of value out of the inventory space that both of these AD carries have, Lucian is miles ahead. Braum not caught up. Braum's okay. He can jump away. He can stand next to the Jarvan and be perfectly fine. And the vision control just continues here for Purple Team. I don't think I've seen a ward survive in Blue Team's bottom side jungle for more than like a few minutes here. They have managed to pull back bits. They've got 2 pink wards laid down as well as a sight ward near the red buff. But Braum's going to be roaming into the jungle. No, they decided to go towards top. They want to exert some influence on that side of the map, near where the Baron buff is. Perhaps they're thinking of taking that buff for themselves at some point in the game here. And certainly help them close out this match. Because Blue Team, though they're behind, do have a decent late-game team comp. They've got the Shockwave potential from an Orianna that can turn a game around if you land a good Shockwave. They've got the Jax, who can scale up into the late game. Looks like he's building a lot of damage here. Looks like he's building a Triforce. Speaking of Jax, the counter-strike lands onto Renekton, and the Bilgewater Cutlass slow, but countered immediately by the Blade of the Ruined King. And the fight just kind of stops there. They both slow each other up, and neither one can catch the other one. Renekton going to push up and get some damage onto his tower. However, Corki has shown up, and now it's a 2v1 situation. Renekton pops into his ult, he dives into the tower. Barrier and Wish are burned, but they do bring down the Renekton. The Wizard does fall. Now Kaz is in a bit of trouble. Hexdrinker pop. Leap in from the Jarvan, though. And he doesn't have a Hexdrinker. I don't know why I thought he did. And it looked like the hex trigger animation happened, but it didn't actually. Now the Soraka getting stunned up onto the tower. She's going to be going down. Double kill for Lysandra. And a kill with Jarvan as well. Really acing them. Jax, the only remaining member of the team to survive on those few engagements across the map there. This is going to be the first inhibitor tower of the game falling. I see no way that Jax can pull off the solo defense here. Inhibitor tower does fall. They're going to focus on the inhibitor right thereafter. And they're going to be able to get this too. This is really bad for blue team. An inhibitor at 20 minutes. Inhibitor pushed down and taken at 20 minutes by purple team. And maybe Jax leads him counter-strike. However, the stun is entirely avoided by a very well-timed Zhonya's from the Lysandra. She has the Zhonya's and her ulti, so she's just going to be incredibly hard to focus down, and she's going to do a bunch of damage too. She's very powerful. He's forced to flash away. Lucian pops into his healers for the speed, flashes away as well to avoid the damage from the Orianna. Renekton turns around and kills off the Orianna. Orianna, though, gets the Lysandra as Corki finishes off Jarvan, and Kha'Zix gets a double kill. Renekton, the only remaining member. He's going to get focused down. He has a very hefty damage build, but he's not very tanky at all. Triple kill for Kha'Zix. Ace coming out for blue team, and they've turned their sights onto Baron. I don't know if they can take it, though. There's a lot of low health bars there in blue team. They do have the healing from Soraka. They have the healing that Kha'Zix can do for himself, so they have some healing to work with while taking this Baron down. But it's dangerously low. Kha'Zix really going down there. Heal comes out from Soraka. Soraka nearly going down. And Jax is going to be the one to fall. Soraka at literally 30 health. Baron is going to fall, though. After facing off their most powerful opponent, the Baron, blue team emerges victorious. Baron buff on a few of their members there. Jax sadly not getting it since he did fall. And Soraka, no! Run, Soraka! Ah, Cataclysm. And a Martial Cadence. Empowered auto attack. Soraka gonna fall. That's unfortunate. And, you know, looking across the board here, one thing that I do notice is, Jarvan only has 52 CS. That's barely anything in 21 minutes, even for a jungler, and it's because he's been ganking so much. Like, my god, I think we saw him gank 5 times before 10 minutes in this game. Jarvan has just been providing so much action for his team. And we have a team fight going on here. Kha'Zix's going to be shut down by the Ignite from Bynbows on that Braum. That's another Baron buff dropped off the enemy team, and they're going to be pulling off a split push here. They've got Renekton and Lucian down in the bottom lane. The other 3 members of the team up towards top. And blue team's investing a lot in this top lane. Glacial Path coming from the Lysandra are going to be defending Braum. Jax maybe wanted to keep chasing there, but didn't want to keep chasing into an Ice Queen. And he chases the Jarvan away to the tower, but now Jarvan's going to be diving in. Knockup lands on the Jax. The stun from Braum passive as well, but Wish here from Soraka, saving the Jax's life. Very well timed Wish. We've seen a lot of those. I have to give props to the Soraka. Her team isn't doing the best. She's not decidedly winning this game or anything, but her wishes have always been well timed, saving a lot of lives. She's been a very literal lifesaver in this game. Meanwhile, down in bottom lane, oh my god, the damage from Renekton is insane under that tower. Holy hell, the blizzard hurts, man. Now, Jax leaping in, doing a bunch of damage to the Lysandra. She has a Zhonya's Hourglass, though. She's not going to go down. She has... No, she doesn't have her ulti. She does go down in the end. Now, Braum getting left on. He goes down as well. Double kill for Jax. Kill for Kha'Zix as well. Top lane's going so well for blue team, but bottom is not. Corki goes down to the culling, and then the inhibitor falls, and now they're focusing in onto this Nexus turret. Can blue team get anything to stop them? The Nexus turret is going down to half health. It's getting burnt down. I don't know if they can get here in time to stop this turret from falling. It does fall. Now they're leaping around behind them. Jax, actually, Orianna finishes off that kill onto Lucian. Kha'Zix takes down the Renekton. Second ace of the game going with the blue team. They lost an inhibitor, 2 inhibitors, and a Nexus turret. I don't know if that's worth, but it's certainly not the best situation for blue team. They, it's just looking real grim for them right now. They're gonna have to pull this game out to 40 or 50 minutes if they want to see a victory screen light up at the end of it. So it's gonna be very difficult for them to do that, though, because purple team rather has such an intense ability to team fight. They have Lysandra going in there with the Glacial Path and starting to fight off with the Glacial Tomb so incredibly efficiently. Like, it's so hard to avoid that engage, and even if you can, you have to employ Jarvan as well, closing so much distance with, if he has Flash and Flag and Drag and Cataclysm all up. You can get into your backline so easily. There's very, very few ways to actually avoid that happening. Of course, he does have his Valkyrie to be able to escape there, but Orianna only has Flash. Orianna has no other way to escape so Jarvan could just leap in onto the AP mage here from blue team and engage a fight onto her. It's going to be really, really hard for blue team to get any sort of favorable fighting conditions. And it looks like we're going to be having a push, a concerted push this time. Purple team counter split push. Lysandra going in, and there's that engage I was talking about. Sonano picking off the Orianna right at the beginning. Now Braum coming in with the Glacial Fissure, and Jax is going to be falling. Lucian picking up that kill. He has not been touched. Going, not really doing too much, but it does zone them away. The inhibitor's going to be falling once more, and this very well might be GG here. One of the Nexus turrets is already fallen. The other one's going to be melting down very quickly. Renekton trying to do his best to bring down this Kha'Zix. Guardian Angel is popped, since Kha'Zix did manage to finish off that item, and Renekton is incredibly low, but double kill for Lucian. Kha'Zix dying as he is mid-leap. Surrender vote coming out from the blue team. Ace as well. GG. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hey guys, Octavian. I'm sorry the resolution is still off in these more recent videos. I'm trying to fix that. Not the best at video editing though, all the time, so it's been difficult to figure out how to do it, and I still wanted to upload some videos for you guys, so that's why some of them have had strange resolutions, but hopefully it's not been too big of an issue. And yeah, if you want your replay to be featured on the channel, just check the description. You can figure out how to do that down there. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one.